Hello friends, I hope you all are doing good. So guys, many of you have been asking me whether after getting your PR, whether the principal applicant should come alone first, search a job, settle in Canada, and maybe after a few months time call their families, or whether the entire family should land in one go in Canada. So guys, in this video I'll be talking about various situations, as this is a highly debatable topic because both the sides have their pros and cons. So let's consider various situations and let's talk about this in this video. And also guys, as you all know that we post a lot of meaningful videos related to Canada immigration. I request you all to please consider subscribing to our channel. And guys, now let's proceed. So guys, in this video I am assuming that you are a family, so basically spouse, and you may or may not have kids. So guys, having said that, this video is not intended for single applicants. It's only for those people who are either married or are married and have kids. So my dear friends, the rule of immigration states that the principal applicant or the primary applicant has to come to Canada first. The dependents can either accompany the principal applicant at the same time, or they can accompany at a later stage. But in no circumstances can the dependents be allowed to enter Canada before the primary applicant. So basically in all scenarios, the primary applicant or the principal applicant has to be in Canada first. So my dear friends, scenario number one is husband and wife both are working back in India, and assuming that you have a lot of financial commitments back in India, what you can do is one of the person leaves their job, or basically the primary applicant leaves their job, comes to Canada and starts looking for a job. So in this way, the person who is working back in India at least has some income to take care of the financial commitments back in your home country, and the person who is here at least does not have that much tension that there is absolutely no money coming into your account, all the money is going, there is no income which is happening. So in such scenarios, it is highly advisable that one person continues with their job back in your home country, and one person, the primary applicant, comes to Canada in search of a better life. Scenario number two. So assuming one of the partner is not working, say for example the wife is not working and the husband is working back in their home country. So guys, in such a case, it is highly advisable to get your spouse along with you, because as it is, they are not generating any income back in their home country, so they might as well help you settle well in Canada. Because guys, I am of the opinion that if you have someone whom you call as your family in Canada, it helps in many ways. First of all, whenever you're going through ups and downs in life, you have someone to talk to, someone cares for you, someone loves you. Guys, that plays a major part as far as psychology is concerned. So in such scenarios, I would definitely recommend people that come to Canada as a couple and start making your life here in Canada. Scenario number three. Guys, this is a bit complicated. So assuming there is a couple who is having a kid as well. So guys, in such cases, there are multiple things which you need to consider before you choose either of the route. First is the age of the kid. If the kid is of a school going age, you might want to let the kid continue his academic year back in his home country, and then during the next academic year get the kid to Canada. However, if the kid is small, you might as well consider getting your kid along with you. But guys, there are certain things that you need to consider if you get your family, that is including your kid, to Canada. First is the cost of daycare. If both husband and wife want to work in Canada, then obviously the kid needs to go in some kind of daycare or childcare facility. Guys, let me tell you that daycare facilities are super expensive in Canada. Here in Ontario, the monthly daycare cost goes up to around $1,200 to $1,500. Obviously, there are government subsidies available, and you need to apply to those subsidies in order to avail them. But taking the worst case scenario into consideration and assuming that you don't get any kind of subsidy, then guys, this $1,200, $1,500 is what goes from your pocket. And if one of the parents does not have a in-demand profession, so basically they are making minimum wage salary, then guys, most of the salary that you make on a monthly basis will be going towards your daycare expenses. So guys, this is one point which I wanted to bring it forward to you, that even if you consider getting your child here in Canada and putting him or her into a daycare, the daycare is super expensive. So friends, one more important thing which I want to add in this section is that whenever you consider getting your family and your kid to Canada, your monthly expenses will literally be doubled. This is because of the fact that when you're traveling single, when you're coming to Canada alone, you would consider renting in a shared apartment with many roommates so that your expenses are brought down. Also, whatever groceries and whatever things you'll buy for your essentials will be only for yourself, so it will be like very restricted. However, when you get your family and especially your kid, you might want to stay in an apartment all by yourself without sharing. So this basically increases your rent. All the groceries and everything that you buy would be as for a family as opposed to a single person. And also guys, if your kid is very small, the cost of diapers, napkins, all such things keeps on. So all these minute expenses also will come to a big sum if you total it at the end of the month. So now coming to the positive side of having your family and kid here in Canada, guys, the very first benefit is happiness, and guys, that is priceless. Imagine that you are having a very difficult day, you work really hard from morning till evening, and when you come back home, you see a warm dinner is ready for you, your kid is happy to see you. Guys, that feeling is priceless. I am sure most of you would agree to this particular fact. And guys, having your family, especially your kid, in front of you, that will motivate you, that you have to work even harder to give them a better life, right? So this is what I strongly believe in. And guys, also let me tell you that the government of Canada will also pay you childcare benefits if you have a child here in Canada who is with you. So I have already made a video on childcare benefits, the link of which will be given in the description below, or it will be available somewhere on the top. Guys, the childcare benefit is dependent on your income. I would not say that the childcare benefit is sufficient enough to take care of your child's expenses, but at least it is something, they'll give you something, and something is definitely better than nothing at all. So now my friends, whichever approach you choose, whether you come alone first or come with your family at the same time, there are few things which you must consider beforehand. The very first important thing is your risk taking ability. Guys, Canada is no heaven, and in reality, Canadians also have the same struggles as people have elsewhere on earth. There are many success stories that you would have heard, but also guys, reality is something else. It takes lot of effort in order to make sure your dreams are achieved. The bottom line is, it takes hard work and determination to make your dreams successful, to make your dreams into a reality, correct? So guys, the point which I told about risk taking ability is because it's a big transition from your home country to starting a new life in Canada. I am sure you all will agree with that, correct? So guys, just don't blindly leave your job back in India. Don't just come to Canada with all the positive thoughts. Think from the reality point of view. Try to get your monthly expenses, try to get a figure in mind, like this would be your monthly expenses and this is the money that you have. So with in a worst case scenario, this many days or this many months you will be able to survive in Canada without a job, guys, something like this. Then you have to assess what is your risk appetite, and on basis of that you can make the transition to Canada. So if you are coming from a family where money is no issue, you have got lots of money to spend, then you might as well consider bringing your entire family with you on day one, and taking your own sweet time to settle down in Canada and then search for a job. However, if you are really tight on budget and you don't have extra finances to spare, then in that case you might want to consider coming alone first, searching a job, settling to some extent in Canada, and then getting a family along to settle permanently. The second point is about weather. Guys, I need not stress how harsh the winter in Canada is. So minus 25, minus 30 is quite common here in Canada during the winters. So you should plan your transition very well. What I mean to say is, say for example, if you are coming to Canada alone in the month of August, and say suppose things go well, and in another 4-5 months time you plan to get your family. So guys, you came in August, 4-5 months would mean probably December, January, February, which would be peak winter season, correct? So getting your family directly to Canada in peak winter season, guys, this will definitely cause lot of troubles in them adjusting to the Canadian weather because of sudden transition. So basically the point that I want you to understand is acclimatize before you come to Canada. So probably move to Canada during the summer months so that the transition is really smooth. The next point is about cultural shock. So my friends, this is especially true for those people who have never left their home country, who have never stayed away from their family for a longer period of time. So guys, if you are from those background, if you try to come to Canada alone, there will definitely be a lot of cultural shock to you because you are habituated to have your family around. You are never left alone at any point in time, and here there would be no family with you. So the adjustment level would be very high in your case, and you really have to be super positive and super optimistic about how life is going to proceed. Guys, now is the point of citizenship. As you are all aware that you need to complete 3 years in Canada before you can apply for Canadian citizenship. So if you come to Canada alone first and then your family joins after couple of months, then you might be completing 3-year time period earlier than your family. So basically you and your family members would be applying for citizenship at a different point in time. However, if you and your family land together at once, all of you are eligible to apply citizenship at the same point in time. So all your citizenship process also will be done at the same process. This is something which is a very long story because it's 3 years down the line, and you don't know whether you want to get permanently settled in Canada with a citizenship, or you might want to return back to your home country after few years of stay in Canada. However, this point I have brought in front of you just for consideration of which route you should take, whether you should come alone first or whether you should come with your family. So my dear friends, with this I end this particular video. I hope you all really like the contents of this video, and I would request you all to please consider subscribing, as we are putting in great efforts to bring quality content only for you guys. So guys, please feel free to share this video with your family, friends and relatives, and I hope that this video of mine will help you take a better informed decision of whether you should come alone to Canada first or come with your family all together at once. So guys, goodbye and take care. Bye.